Welcome back to Brand Champions. I'm Howard Walpoff, your host. Again, this is brought to you by Teal, the agency. And I'm excited to have Lionell Ball from Inflect Digital with us today. And Lionell, welcome to our conversation today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Howard. Really appreciate it and looking forward to the insights I'll be able to share with the audience.
Well, it's our pleasure to have you and very excited to talk branding with you. Now, when you're working with clients, like what is your main focus with branding? What are you trying to accomplish for a brand when you're working with them?
Right. For a brand, when I'm working with them, my main focus is on performance, right? So really not just the aesthetics or, colors and all those things, which, are important, but we focus really on that performance side for the brands that we work with. So what's the return on investment, right? Because what's the bottom line? That's what people are really interested in. Are they profitable?
Yes, and profit is really the name of the game. You want to make sure you get generating the revenues that can sustain and grow and make the business excel. Are there specific questions that you're asking? Are there specific things you're also digging out of people's stories to really help set the plan for them as to get their marketing message out there?
That's a great question, Howard. And yes, that's where it all starts, right? Because I have to really understand the brand and its story and what its position is in the market. So the way I like to describe it is like, how do we translate culture into our marketing for the brand? And what I mean by that is, like, depending on their audience, the demographics, who they're trying to get in front of, and what the benefits of the product or service is, we have to understand the people, right? What do they believe, right? So it's like this system of belief. And what is that for that particular brand's customers? And so when we dig into that, as you mentioned, asking those questions about, like, hey, why do they want to buy this product? What is it about the product? What the benefits are? And also, like, it's not just their age, like, are they 35 and live in Manhattan? Because there can be many 35-year-olds that live in Manhattan that may not be a good fit for whatever the product or service is. So it's really more so about, what do they believe? And that's what we try to dig into, aside from just, where they live, how old they are, and that kind of thing.
It makes a lot of sense. I've always used the example that someone who's selling hand lotion, their market isn't just people with hands, because not everyone with hands uses hand lotion, and the specifics of the type of lotion someone might use. But it's important to get in front of people in the right way, in the mediums that they are accustomed to, and really that helps influence them. So are there specific mediums that are really working well for some of your clients to get their message out there?
Yes, another great point. So it depends on, like you mentioned, the brand. So there's all these different platforms, right? You have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, list goes on, Reddit and so forth and so on, Google, all these different things. So when we try to identify is, how do your audience engage on those platforms, right? And we know that with Instagram, right, it's really about the story, the videos that you can share, the messaging, the ad copy, all those different things. Versus on Google, it's more so like it's a quick hit in terms of what they're looking for. So if, for example, if I got a tooth pain, right, immediately I'm going to Google to find, like, hey, dentist in my area, right? Like, immediately, right? So that's a little bit more specific. Whereas on Instagram, you really get to engage them in different ways. So one of the things I like to describe is, because sometimes I'm talking to brands and they're like, well, I don't think my audience is on Instagram. They're more so on LinkedIn if they're, trying to reach professionals. And the thing is, they are on LinkedIn for sure, but they're on Instagram too. They just may engage with that platform a little bit different. And so one of the campaigns I'll give as an example, when we framed this particular ad, it was about inserting ourselves into the conversation about their sneakers, right? So let's say I'm selling a watch. It's a luxury watch brand, and I go from the angle, or come from the angle of, are you team Jordan or team Air Max 95? Because, that it's a certain colorway that may match the watch that they want to wear. And so instead of talking about the watch, we talk about some signals or some cultural artifacts like your first pair of J's or your Air Max 95, and you're matching it with the breads, the 11 breads is black and red. You got the all black watch, or maybe you want to match it with your Air Max 95. And what's going to happen on Instagram is you're going to get people coming and commenting on that because you're hitting a pain point or you're signaling to something, the identity, a memory, like my first pair of J's or my first pair of Air Max 95s. And so they're going back and forth with each other. No, is this particular brand is better, or this shoe, or this colorway. And so now there's a conversation going on around what they identify with, but now your watch is also in that conversation. And so that's one of the ways in which people engage on different platforms. And so depending on the audience, and so forth, those are the different platforms we'll try to, basically engage with.
Well, that's such a great example and a real indicator of how well you work with your clients. So it's really fantastic that you're able to share this all with us today, and we thank you for joining us in this conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you all for joining us as well. Really having a full vision of your brand is very important. Make sure you have different connected pieces that go along with it, and finding the right platform to speak to your right audience is key. So we thank Lionell for joining us and all that he has to share. Really check out more information about him as well. But go out, have a great rest of today, and we will see you next time.